If you're wondering where I've been for the past couple of weeks, number one, I took a little vacation with Faith Gear where 20 riders went to the east coast of Taiwan to do some of the most beautiful rides that Taiwan has to offer. Number two, ironically, I didn't get enough rest on that vacation, and because of that, I got really sick. And number three, I've left Taiwan and I've relocated to Thailand. So now it's time to say goodbye to Taiwan for the time being. This isn't going to be your typical polished travel video where I just make a location look excellent and perfect from every angle. Instead, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the sweaty. And there is a lot of sweaty. These are the perks, and the perks of Fixie cycling in Taiwan. What's up? I'm Zach Gallardo. Life is short, but don't make it shorter, so ride your bike every day to be reasonably dangerous, and subscribe for more Fixie videos just like this one. And for lightweight steel bikes that weigh well under 20 pounds or 9 kilograms that you can customize to be your dream bike right out of the box, consider checking out our channel sponsor, Wabi Cycles, linked at the top of the description. Our number 10 perk for Fixie cycling in Taiwan is that Taiwan is very small, but it's geographically diverse. In one 50-mile ride, you can go from densely packed city centers to the steamy river bike trails, to climbing the lush mountains, to descending for a chill afternoon of boba at the beach, all while having enough miles left to get you back home. If there's one word that I could use to describe Taiwan, that would be convenience. It's convenient to ride from the city centers to the mountains or to the ocean, and during your rides, it's convenient to take a break and grab something to eat at any hour of the day at the morning vendors, the night markets, or the 24-hour convenience stores or 24-hour fast food restaurants that are everywhere. It makes short rides feel full and long rides feel epic. Taiwan's density brings convenience, but it also brings dense traffic. The narrow roads are filled with the most scooters per capita in the world. There's loads of taxis and rich people flexing in SUVs, buses that cut off the right lane every block, and oblivious pedestrians glued to their phones, and everyone on bikes, from the hyper-competitive roadies to the grandmas on 3 speeds hauling back their fresh green onions. This dense traffic forces you to be more assertive in carving out your own space on the road, and it will inevitably shrink your personal bubble. At times, scooter riders will literally rub shoulders with you at intersections, and sometimes they'll accidentally give you a little nudge on your rear wheel. And the buses and taxis will come within inches of you while they're merging. The dense traffic encourages you to be alert at all times, and it will improve your situational awareness. You have to be quick and decisive in your riding to clearly communicate your intentions to the traffic around you. Taiwan's traffic may look hectic, but being in it is actually a lot more harmonious compared to what I'm used to back in the US. In the US, the rule of the road is everyone for themselves, and people are taught defensive driving techniques, and it's often assumed that the road is a place for cars, not cyclists. In Taiwan, though, there's a layer of civility that makes riding in the dense traffic feel a lot more safe. The traffic lights have timers to set expectations for the flow of traffic, and although vehicles may come extremely close for comfort, they yield the right of way to pedestrians and cyclists more often than not, even if you are riding like a giblet head. Instead of everyone for themselves, the rule of the road is more so live and let live. I'm used to riding in US cities where most of the major cities are carefully planned grids on flat lands to ideally make traffic flow faster. In Taiwan, though, the layout of the cities look more like a plate of spaghetti. In US cities, because roads more or less run parallel to each other, it's easy to take a side road that has significantly less traffic than a main road, which will be much more pleasant and safer to ride on. In Taiwan, though, if you try to do that, you're gonna get turned around and lost or end up at a dead end. So in Taiwan cities, it's necessary to ride on the main roads where all the traffic runs through. In the events that I didn't want to deal with all that traffic, forced me to become more creative in my route planning. We're taking longer routes, often flowed more smoothly and could oftentimes be quicker than the most direct routes, but with the heaviest traffic. But sometimes that heavy traffic on the main roads is unavoidable, and you just have to go into it to get to where you're going. Because of that, it forced me to be a better sprinter. For the flow of traffic in Taiwan, the scooters trickle up to the front, while the cars sit back. And if you're on a bike and you want to flow with traffic and keep up with the scooters, it becomes essential to sprint right when the light turns green, and to pick a scooter to draft off of, as to not get swallowed by the horde of taxis and buses creeping up behind you. The traffic in Taiwan cities more so pulses than flows, and it'll force you to be a better sprinter. Taiwan will also shape you into a much more resilient and adaptable rider. Taiwan has a lot of factories and they have laxer emission standards than in the US, which means the air quality isn't great, and it really aggravated my asthma, but I dealt with it. And there was also a time where a bus spewed soot right into my right eye, and I had to just close my eye and try to clear it out while flowing with the traffic. Something you might notice is that there's a lot of stray dogs here. The last time I was here was at night, and I was actually chased by a pack of stray dogs. There's a lot more of them than I remember. I think they've recruited some new meat. And in Taiwan summer, there are mosquitoes everywhere. And I got bitten so much where I just ended up ignoring them to the point where I didn't even notice them anymore. And then there's Taiwan's weather, which will definitely make you a more resilient rider. Especially in Taipei, the weather can change on a dime. It could be sunny one moment and then it'll just be a torrential downpour. Combine that with city center's air quality and you get acid rain, which will rust your bolts and make you itchy. And that rain also makes Taiwan's tile sidewalks that they love so much really slippery. I learned that the hard way. And then of course, there's Taiwan's heat. The summers are steamy and you can expect it to be 30 degrees Celsius with 90+% humidity, making it feel more like 40 degrees Celsius or 100+ degrees Fahrenheit. Even at night, riding in Taiwan, I was perpetually drenched in sweat, and it's something that you just have to deal with to become a stronger rider. But because of all of that heat and humidity, Taiwan taught me how to slow down and just enjoy the ride for what it is. I learned that it's okay to just breathe, cruise, take a look at all the sights and sounds around, and it's okay to take lots of breaks along the way at cafes and convenience stores to enjoy some iced tea and sweet, sweet air conditioning. Taiwan is also really safe. At home in the US, I'm usually pretty paranoid about my lockups. And while riding at night at home, I try to ride through safer neighborhoods, even if it does take longer. If any of y'all are from Sac, let me tell you, South Sac is not a fun place to live. Playing the game, gunshots or fireworks every night. Compare that to Taiwan. The standard lockup includes flicking out the kickstand and throwing on a cable lock on the rear wheel. Not even through the rear triangle, just through the rear wheel. I decided to embrace the safety, pick the most convenient wall, and just free lock my bike and lean it up against it. That night, I found myself riding through whichever neighborhoods were most convenient, even if they were quote-unquote sketchier neighborhoods. Taiwan is really safe. Most people don't lock their doors. Free lock your bike all you want, and let your mind be at ease. Fixed gear is niche, and it can be pretty hard to find shops that are dedicated fixed gear shops or even just 50% fixed gear. And it makes it feel like fixed gear riders don't really have a home. But that's not the case in Taiwan. In Taipei, there's Nabis and Kendo, which are about 50% fixed gear. And there's my buddies over at Faith Gear, which is completely dedicated to fixed gear. It makes it easy to get components from the most popular brands like Thompson, Nitto, AARN, Tsugino, Chinelli, Colossi, Engine 11, you name it, you can have it. You can also get components from Taiwan's own brands like the increasingly popular Alter chainrings, and Revolve, Kendo, and Nabis bikes. Taiwan's proximity to Japan also means that you can find a fair selection of NJS frames. And speaking of fixed gear shops, the fixed gear scene is alive and well in Taiwan. Taiwan loves grip activities and people are constantly getting together for fixed gear riding. There's the pedalist market where riders can drink, buy bike parts, and hang out. There's a plan of local guys that I know that plan on riding 200 kilometers or 125 miles in a day. Unfortunately, I couldn't join them because I'm in Thailand now. There's weekly bike polo, which I don't have any B-roll of because they hosted the meetings at the same time I went to church. priorities, folks. And there's Faith Gear's chill weekly night rides, which usually includes snacks, a park, and some sweet Fixed Gear freestyle. And speaking of Faith Gear, they recently hosted their yearly trip where 20 riders go to the east coast of Taiwan to do some of Taiwan's most beautiful rides, all on Fixed Gears. Capping the trip off with karaoke, not enough sleep, too much adult grape juice, and a hospital. Taiwan goes hard, and I love it. And that's the best thing about fixed gear cycling in Taiwan. It's really easy to make fixed gear friends. Now, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, and believe me, I love a good horn tootin', but I met a lot of viewers in Taiwan from all over the world. Locals, riders from Hong Kong, Japan, the UK, US, and these are all people that you can meet up with at the many fixed gear events and just talk about fixed gears and riding. Although a lot of locals speak English, some don't. But even if we don't speak the same language, fixed gear riding gives us something to connect over. When we ride, we don't need to talk. All we have to do is give each other a nod and a smile and start sprinting across the bridge or up the mountain and give each other slaps and high fives when we get to the finish. Taiwan is a unique blend of perks and challenges that serves as a hub where fixed gear riders from all over the world can just come together, ride, and have fun. For that reason, I found Taiwan to be one of fixed gear cycling's hidden gems. Question of the day: what are the perks and the perks of riding in your location, and how does it shape your riding? Let me know in the comments. Speaking of perks, our channel sponsor Wabi Cycles is the epitome of what makes cycling fun, and every one of Wabi's design choices are meticulously made to give the purest ride quality for the money. Wabi executes those choices perfectly, handmade by master craftsmen in Taiwan, and a friendly bike shop in Denver, Colorado that is eager to answer your questions and get you on a bike you'll love. This amounts to efficient, elegant, and timeless bikes that you can get from a passionate group of fellow cyclists. Wabi's relentless attention to detail results in Wallace, my 58 centimeter Wabi Special, weighing in at 17.5 pounds or 7.97 kilograms straight out of the box. And I say both measurements because they do indeed ship worldwide. That weight isn't just for quoting and impressing other cyclists though, although it does do that. It results in the best riding experience that I've ever had, with a snappy, lively ride quality that only top tier steel can bring. That pure fun makes it really easy for me to ride my Wabi Special as my only bike that I ride as I travel throughout Asia. I'm looking at it right now, it's still in the box, and I'm really itching to build it up. If you're looking for a bike that'll squash the upgrade bug, consider checking out our channel sponsor Wabi Cycles, linked at the top of the description. If you didn't like this video, be sure to let me know by giving it a thumbs down. But if you found this video helpful or useful, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you really like this video, share it with a friend and hit that subscribe button to watch more fixed gear videos just like this one. And if you hadn't ridden your bike today yet, stop watching me right now, because life is short, but don't make it shorter. So ride your bike every day to be reasonably dangerous.